This is mastersio. This meditation is called banging wall meditation. This is especially geared for the control freaks out there. I happen to be also a control freak too much of my time, but I'm getting better, okay? So, as you probably know, control freaks are people who bang their heads against the wall simply because the universe doesn't seem to listen to their totally absurd wishes. Now, on Father's Day, I woke up and I was going to go to my son for dinner, and I decided to take a nice cold shower, then go for a walk. And on my walk, I opened the gate, stepped outside and looked to the left, and went around a few blocks. Half an hour later, I came back around the corner and I looked at my car, which is parked next to my gate, and lo and behold, I thought the car looked a little odd. Mind you, half an hour ago, I walked right by it without observing it or anything, and just went for my walk. I didn't notice the oddity until I came back. And as I approached the car, I figured, well, it looks like the air is a little bit low on one of my tires. And I just looked around, admired the flowers blooming, and listened to the birds. And I was almost upon my car when maybe 5 feet away, and I looked and I thought, it does look a little odd. I'm going to show you a picture here. So I looked at my car and I said, like the French say, c'est la vie. I was kind of amazed at how calm I remained. And I came in my gate, and lo and behold, there was my landlord on his patio. And he said, "Good morning. How was your walk?" And I said, "It was great." He said, "Is everything okay?" I said, "Yes, of course. Just my car, my tires stolen." He leaped off his chair and said, "Really? Let's call the cops." He's a little bit more of a dramatist, shall we say, than I am. And I said, "Oh, what's that gonna do?" He said, "We're gonna call them right away. I mean, where's my phone?" And he said, "Aren't you alarmed by all this?" And I said, yes. Particularly since you're the owner of the property, you told me it was entirely safe in this neighborhood. In any event, by this time, it was like 10:30, the sun was way up there, and I told him, "Look, if we call the cops now, they're going to come here and we're going to take a lot of time answering questions. My car is not insured for theft like that." And he says, "It's going to cost you a few $100, maybe $1,000 to replace your tires." I said, "It's a little worse than not having breakfast, so would you like to have some cereal first and then we'll worry about it? So, in due course, the cops showed up, and it was one very tall cop and a little bit shorter one, and the shorter one was doing the questioning. So he began, can you please spell your name for me? And he got interrupted by the taller cop who said, ask for his registration. So obviously one was kind of breaking in the younger guy. But after they had taken the report and stuff, I asked the taller cop if he had ever had anything similar to mine. And he said, oh yes, I live in a very nice neighborhood, and I was working and my wife called me. My truck was parked on the street and said, I thought I heard the alarm to your truck go off. Can you hurry home? And I said, well, I'm in the middle of working. And in any event, he went home and someone, this is a cop's truck in a nice neighborhood, had jacked up his truck and stolen part of the muffler system. I think they call it the catalytic converter. It's the most expensive part of the muffler system, I think. And I was just amazed. I said, wow, here's a cop, he had an alarm, his wife was home, she thought she heard the alarm going. So these are very fast working thieves, I think. Probably the same guys that came and stole all 4 of my tires. In any event, so I called my son and said I couldn't make it for dinner. And he said, Dad, don't worry about it. I will look for your car, which is a Honda, is a very popular car, and people steal the tires off of them all the time. And I'm sure we can find some nice used ones for a few $100 with plenty of tread and everything. And I kind of called a few places. To replace my rims and the tires would have cost something like $1,200. I decided better to just get some used ones. It's an old car, I don't know, it might die any day. So my son found the best deal. It's like rims and tires with around 3 years worth of tread left for $400. And I said, okay, that sounds great. Otherwise, I'd have to pay $800 or $1,200 or something. And he says, okay, I'll bring them in tomorrow. That intrigued me, the speed with which my son found replacements. So I started poking around online, and I found someone who said he was a mechanic, and he just bought a new car, and he's going to piecemeal out the parts of his car. So he said, I have 4 tires, exact fit for your car, and I only want $100. That's a much better deal than my son had found. So I said, yeah, that sounds great. And he said, would you like to come and get them? I said, well, I don't have any wheels, and I might have to ask someone for a ride. So he said, okay, let me know. So after a while, I had kind of accepted my loss, and I reminded myself that there are many weeks when I don't even leave my place. I don't even open the front door. I'm inside all day. Maybe in the evening I might go for a walk. The next day might be the same thing. And there are times when I don't even use my car for maybe a whole week. It just sits there collecting dust, and it's a playground for some of the stray cats in the neighborhood. So I thought, okay, I'll just accept it. Maybe I'll just go without wheels for a few days. It's not the end of the world. And the next day, or was it later the same day, I think, or the next day, I got a call from the mechanic with the 4 tires, and he said, I have a little bit of time if you want to meet me halfway. He's about half an hour away from me. Halfway, I'll bring the tires and transfer them to your car. And I said, I'm not really in a great hurry, and I'll just wait until I find someone to drive me over. And I said, okay, let's leave it at that. Later on, he called up again and said, I want to get rid of my tires, and I'll drive over. And I said, wow, that sounds great. I'll give you some gas money. So he agreed, drove over. The tires from a little bit away, you think they look like new tires. And he said, I'm a mechanic, and I can tell this one has at least probably 2 to 3 years worth, considering the way that you drive. I said, okay. So I handed him the $100, and I looked in my wallet for more money. I said, let me give you some gas money. And he said, no. I'd like to take a brief pause from my story to explain this aspect of our meditation. I am a master of medical Qigong, which means that I help to move energy by projecting my own energy or Qi or mana, prana, life force, same thing, through any medium at any distance, and it would affect the other person that I am speaking with or being entrained with through the energetic connections. So, from the very beginning of our time here together, we were already entrained, and in your heart space, if you have been keeping it open while you're listening to my anecdotes, you are absorbing the loving and powerful energies that I have been sending you and will continue to send to you, so long as you keep your heart open to receiving some love here today. I am also a Hawaiian kahuna healer, meaning that I employ the principles around aloha or love that have been circulated throughout the world and in their own communities by the ancient Hawaiian kahunas and the authentic ones that are still around today. As you watch here, you are receiving from me these emissions of low-level lights that you can't really see unless you are in extreme restful or relaxed state. But you can feel a sense of relaxation as I am relaying my anecdotes to you. So the short explanation is, just observe whether you are enjoying to a degree my anecdotes. They're all tied in with our meditation. As I mentioned before, the banging wall meditation. Okay, I shall return to finish up my anecdotes, and then we will go into an even more intense transmission of healing energy to you. Okay? In any event, he said, would you like some help with the tires? And I said, yeah, that'd be nice. He said, I do it for a living. So he put on all 4 tires for me. So this guy, he did the whole thing in maybe the whole 4 tires in less than a half hour. And it occurred to me, I began to wonder if this is the guy who had stolen my tires. I don't even know what kind of tires they were. When the cops came, They asked me, so what make are the tires so we can, if we catch the thieves? I said, I have no idea, except they were very good tires. But in any event, everything turned out very well, and I'm very grateful that I was thusly blessed by the universe. Despite my tires being stolen, I remain very optimistic about my life and grateful for whatever little that I have. I have a friend who complained about a movie that won an Oscar and is acclaimed worldwide. I asked, why didn't you like the movie? And she said, because in one scene, for about 2 seconds, there was a brown chicken. And since childhood, she never liked brown chickens. She only liked black chickens. I think this is kind of an odd way to look at life, to allow a 2-second minuscule moment to spoil an entire movie. Now let's get on to some intense meditative moments. As I mentioned earlier, I have been constantly emitting these biophotons filled with loving messages to you the entire time. So now please keep your eyes open, constantly focused on my third eye, which is about here, or in this general area. You will get the deepest healing results by observing your body's reactions, not by uttering 1,000 intentions, but simply by observation. By observation alone, your heart will open wider and wider and accept the loving vibrations of frequencies that I have been projecting to you. Now I will be quiet as you observe your reactions. Some may be very subtle, like a gentle breeze, and others may cause you to tremble. Now, please gently close your eyes. Gently close your eyes and continue to observe any subtle or dramatic change in the sensations felt by your body. You may be feeling extremely relaxed, as though you were drifting off to sleep. And a thought crosses your mind how beautiful you feel and how you sense your immune system being upgraded through these sensations and frequencies that you are feeling. And you might want to extend this blessing to a friend of yours or family member or even a pet. And this you can do simply by saying quietly to yourself, all these blessings I extend automatically to, and then fill in the blank. It is very normal for people attending this sort of meditation to view themselves from outside of their body, as if you were a little distance away from where you are now, and you watch your body sort of suspended in front of you with all these little sparkling lights of various colors and hues floating constantly throughout your body, which is like a transparent form. And as you watch these little lights, knowing they are biophotons moving around your body, bringing powerful rejuvenation and healing frequencies to you, once in a while, you may feel perhaps some pain or major movement in an organ or your knee or other specific part of your body. You should express gratitude for this. It merely means that you have received powerful frequencies, not just from myself, but from everybody listening at this moment to this meditation. It is possible for you to see images or lights even with your eyes closed. And it is suggested that you express your deepest gratitude for what you are receiving at this moment. Powerful emotions sometimes arise, leading to tears of gratitude and appreciation flowing freely. Just allow and be grateful. The blessings that you are receiving may or may not be in the exact order and amounts that you had in mind, but there are surprises that will continue, positive surprises, even after our beautiful meditation here. As you admire your beautiful creation in front of you, you could say, thank you for being here. Thank you for loving me. I accept you completely, and I shall never abandon you again. Gently open your eyes and return your awareness to your immediate surroundings, and notice just how much brighter everything looks, and how much more joy you feel, and how you know deeply in your heart that love and gratitude are powerful attributes that have become yours. As we wind down our meditation, free now from the banging wall. This is mastersio. Aloha. Thank you very much.